Hey, and welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. So, we're doing great. Apparently, we've already cleared volume 1 of Beast Complex, and we're already in volume 2. That was fast. So, man, I'm excited. These short stories have just been nothing short of amazing. And man, I'm just so happy to be sucked back into this world because these compared to the main series, I guess it's like a breath of fresh air. Like everything that I wanted in the main series that didn't happen is actually like coming to fruition in this anthology series, and I love to see it because I always said that the strength of Beastars was in its short stories that it told, just those personal character like moments that we had in there, and I'm glad that we're getting that now. So yeah, I would love to support the official release. If Volume 2 were to release in English, I would get that, but unfortunately, um, stuck waiting with Volume 1 until the other volume comes out. I think there's like 3 volumes out right now. Um, so yeah, but other than that, let's just jump right into it and just read the story. So, welcome to Beast Complex, Chapter 7, The Chipmunk and the Snow Rabbit. Oh, and one more thing before we go on. At some point, the art style changed. Like I noticed that I said before how when I started, Beast Complex, how the style had that like new mangaka look. Like the art style was like scratchy, and just kind of like I don't know. It just felt kind of lived in, I guess. Now her lines are getting much more cleaner, things are much more defined, and it's more modern. That's what I'm trying to say. More along the lines of like the main series, like before Lego C got his clean new look. He wasn't scratchy like anymore. He wasn't a little rough around the edges. So let's jump right into it. Um, we're already at this month's deadline. It's all over for us. Have we still not heard from Miss Fig yet? They say that she's really hard to work with. We're really screwed with the addition of last month's work. One more mess up and we're through. It's just so difficult. Were they like a publishing company? Looking at their desk. Because Miss Fig is such a brilliant writer, her weekly inserts is our company's most popular columns. She must be under a lot of pressure. Who's Miss Fig? No matter what our deadline is tonight, we have to turn it in somehow. I mentioned in the meeting yesterday that it was difficult to get a hold of Miss Fig, but I was totally ignored. I just think you and Miss Fig are not too compatible. Huh? Why is that? Miss Fig has a really amazing way of describing the emotions and feelings of herbivores. Oh, Miss Fig's a rabbit. Snow rabbit, okay. She is a very delicate author. You as a carnivore can never be able to work with her. So a writer. Unlike Jin here, who could possibly receive a much different result. Let's see. So Jin's that chipmunk right there, who is the protagonist of this one. Got it. Indeed, if it was Miss Jin, who's a chipmunk, she could easily meet up with Miss Fig. She's only friendly to herbivores. Wait a second. I've been here for a month, and I don't even know what kind of writer Miss Fig is. Doesn't matter if you don't know. Being sincere is the most important as an editor. Most important thing as an editor. We must try something by all means. Tonight's the deadline, don't you know? If we can't publish a story for Miss Fig for our weekly insert, the company will have unforeseen consequences. I understand. Editors are so tight to meet their deadlines. I get it though. I totally get it. This level of pressure won't change the fact that Miss Fig and I are mostly incompatible. It says here that Miss Fig is a small female snow rabbit. I guess it's time to head over. This is interesting. And I say that because I don't think we've spent time with the small animal before. I mean, Haru's a small animal, but I'm talking about like a super small animal like this chipmunk here. I think the closest. Actually, no, no closest. There hasn't been any closest. And the only time I saw a chipmunk appear in the main series was during the early chapters in the first volumes. It was cafeteria time, and I think Legacy or no, not Legacy. One of the students almost stepped on a chipmunk at lunchtime or something like that, or some type of small rodent. That's the only other time. Yeah, pretty much. It says here that Miss Fig is a snow rabbit. I guess it's time to head over. Also, an author who's still using older manuscript paper in the town of Denko must be a woman who is unwilling to change with the times. The suitcase is heavy. Some carrot cake ought to be a good fit. Oh, I love carrot cake. So tiny compared to everyone else. And she has to lug this thing around too. Living in a quiet and peaceful and inviting apartment, I see. Ah, I'm getting nervous. Room 201 is here. Is Miss Fig home? Knock knock. I'm Miss Jin, publisher from the Herbivore Society Department. Hopefully you're feeling okay. Excuse me. Stompings coming from behind the... Wait a minute. Where's the hidden condo? That puts a smile on my face. They hit the hidden condo. Man, that brings me back. The hidden condo, when Legacy first got there, that was like my favorite. Some of my favorite character moments happened in the hidden condo. It's just small moments, like Legacy getting to know his neighbors over rice cakes on top of the roof. That was super sweet. I wish we got more of that and got to like explore like Legacy's neighbors, like in his interactions with them, because I thought they were being set up for something, but that never happened, which I felt like it's just wasted opportunity. So yeah. Oh well. Let's see. What's this? Riz 201. Growl. Where is Miss Fig? Yeah, she's freaked out naturally. It's not done yet. Huh? Currently working on the 13th episode for your company. It seems like today's the deadline, right? Do you want to come in? Though it is quite messy. Dark and sunken eyes, it smells like a beast who hasn't showered in a while. On a closer inspection, it seems that no one can compete with his imposing manner. This bear is Miss Fig? Wait, what? My brain is trying to tell me something. This looks familiar. This looks very familiar, and I'm not sure where I've seen it before. I'll probably come back to me. So that's Miss Fig. So Miss Fig isn't a snow rabbit, or did the bear eat Miss Fig? Well, why was there such a rumor that Miss Fig was a snow rabbit? Maybe that's just his pen name. You also believe that rumor then? It's because of my writing style that you thought it appropriate to bring such a gift. Please don't leave the door open. You're letting the ideas and inspiration flow out. I'm still missing half a page. And apparently your smell, if you haven't showered, dude, that's the smell of incel in there. Alright, let's see. So are you leaving or coming in? I'm coming in. That's creepy. Letting the stank out. I learned about Miss Fig's novels back in high school. Quenching Fireflower, Miss Fig's best novel. I had finished all the books and novels within a relatively short time. Wow, she read all of them? That's like one, three, four, five, six. All the main characters were herbivores in today's society. So good. The author was like a guiding light for the weak. There were only so many authors who could express the yearnness of herbivores in such a way. I'm sorry, the yearnings, not the yearnness. Glasses are one. All right. Man, that's really cool. That things like this. That's the point of connection right there. It's weird that I'm looking for that now. The point of connection that's going to connect these two, and it's this bear's writing. Do I call him Miss Fig still? It's just for hilariosity. Let's just call the bear Miss Fig. Nah, that's weird. Let's call it the bear. So they already have like a point of connection, which is the writings, right? And it's funny how a big and imposing carnivore like that bear can understand, the yearnings, what herbivores want to read and what they desire, and you know, apparently he's doing something right because they keep coming back like to his books. So that's really awesome. Though I am a black bear, I am able to precisely detail my thoughts. That's why I hate careless editors. Maybe letting you come was the right thing to do. Even for me, these problems have to be set aside. I was asked to make sure the manuscript can be finished, so I can't leave without them. I really, I really enjoy your work, so I'm really happy that I was able to meet you today. I don't know what it is. This, like, don't get me wrong, his apartment's messy, but it looks like a dream. Because I write in shit too, so it's like, he has writer's block. So I could totally see all this like being, I don't know. This is just a reality, an easy reality to place myself in. Like paper everywhere from ideas that you wrote down, scrapped ideas, and it just keeps piling up. Old sheets, yep. Okay, even for me, these problems have to be set aside. I was asked to make sure the manuscript could be finished, so I can't leave without them. Really, I really enjoyed your work. Okay, I already read this. Happy to meet you today, yeah. The weakness of us herbivores, the sorrow, the fear, the way you describe it, it's really accurate. How is it possible that you are able to understand such a thing? In our daily lives, the fear of carnivores, the fear of being eaten, the fear as herbivores. Hmm. She's trying to think. I'm trying to think, and I'm also trying to go back. This guy looks familiar. I just don't understand. Where have I seen him before? Um, I'm thinking back to Haru. My mind is going to Haru for some reason. It's not just fear, right? It's not just fear of being eaten. And the chipmunk wants to know how he's able to just understand them, right? So, okay, so I'm trying to formulate my thoughts and bring you where my brain is going. So, I went back to it's funny because I was just talking about this to with Chungus. It was the part where Haru was in the Shishigumi hideout about to get eaten, but she stood up for herself. Don't get me wrong, Haru was afraid, right? But at the same time, most of all, what stood through was Haru's will to live in that situation. That's what it was. It was her will to live and fight for her survival to the best of her ability, even though she was born weak, right? That's strength right there. And I'm trying to put myself in this bear's shoes, right? So I can understand how he puts himself in the herbivore's shoes, the small herbivores at that. So let's see. There are a lot of middle-aged men who are capable of writing stories that appeal to younger female generation. Even if they're not young women, they're still able to produce stories about women's desires out of thin air. I am possessed by a soul of a herbivore, but without inspiration, I'm unable to deeply enjoy the hearts and desires of herbivores to fully understand it. His inspiration. But this isn't such a simple job. Oh, he's getting up. In the end, I'm still a black bear. I've hit rock bottom, writer's block. He did have writer's block. Okay. How is that possible? It should be fine. Anything you write, people will read. You're only missing half a page, right? Hey man, that half a page matters. You really don't know how much the final words of a writing can affect its success. Yes, 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 yes. Most definitely. Especially in the ending to things. Like, no, I won't try to add on to that. But the ending is extremely important. Like, if you have a crappy ending to things where you don't just capture, like, everything you, like, if it's not a culmination of everything you've written up until that point, and if it's not satisfying, then it's gonna feel like the entire book was a waste. Kind of like Game of Thrones season 8. That was a waste all on itself. That's a perfect example. Thanks, D&D. In the end, my writing career could only make it so far. It seems that I will have to find another way to feed myself. What do you say? Oh, is he gonna eat her? Please tell me, what does real fear look like? To tell you what? I don't have the brilliance of a herbivore anymore. This way of life. I must retrieve those feelings back, the emotions of a herbivore. Let us become one. Sensei, and how did I end up like this? If you're able to cooperate, then we'd be able to finish this manuscript. It would be such an honor. It sucks. He's about to get eaten. What? Scribble, scribble, scribble. Just like that. Feels about right. What the heck? So he did. It's a. That it. So it's a. Is this a JoJo reference? Okay, so it's a. I in my head I call this a Rohan Kishibe moment. So he put her in a position just so he can capture like the essence of the moment and put it in like transfer that and put it into writing. It's like when Rohan Kishibe like from JoJo Part 4 like stabbed the spider with the pen and then started licking it so he can so he can understand how it works so he could write about it better. It's kind of like that. Okay, but yeah, totally get that. Even though that sucks, that's terrifying. He looks familiar. Wait a minute. At that time, though her eyes filled with tears, her face exuded vivid brilliance. Not what they call fear, but what they call let's go, the desire to live. The that's exactly what it is. That's what makes herbivores like strong and resilient in their own right. Because think of it like this. And us, don't get me wrong, Haru's small, right? This is why my mind went back to Haru in that moment in particular. Um, when she stood up for herself, right? But in their world, there are also people that are, I'm sorry, animals that are even smaller than Haru, right? And a lot of Haru's issues stem from her being told that She was small and she was weak her entire life, and that caused like a lot of her depression, and later on it caused her to like act out, right? Now imagine going through life with that chip on your shoulder, and there are animals that are smaller than her that have to go through this, like that die if they just get stepped on accidentally from someone, you know? But they carry on anyway and live life the way they see fit, right? That's what Haru was trying to do, even if it was, self destructive in a way, right? She had a desire to live knowing that at any day she could just die. That was Haru's whole character arc, right? But now, this guy just summed it up perfectly, and I love to see that. So I'm wondering where the time frame is in this. I'm wondering, is Legosi in, because we're in the hidden condo. So is Legosi there yet? Or is he still at school and he has yet to be there? Because this is just a short story, but I'm just kind of judging by the art style. I would say that he might still be in Cherryton. I guess it doesn't matter. Why am I even I probably just really missed the main cast. That's probably it. But what do you think? Your expression. That is the expression of life and hope itself. What I just did was because I was running out of inspiration by making her cry. Thank you. You allowed me to write down a great moment of material. Please take this manuscript. I managed to get the manuscript. Is it common to have such a thing, such a life-threatening case when you first enter a life-threatening case when you first enter a company? So she's freaked out and traumatized, but she gets a peek at the manuscript and be the first to read it. Did he hold on to the manuscript just so he can get that strike of brilliance? Or did he really want to eat me? I think it might be a little bit of both, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, he's still a black bear, right? He still has those instincts. And if you noticed, let me go back, he doesn't leave his apartment very often, so I'm guessing he's lacking in social skills as well, because I think by the time they first met, let me go back and just take a look at. Okay, I guess not. Oh, yeah. From the time they first met, he had his mouth open, and in society, like, they're taught from a young age, like all the way through high school and stuff, to always like be reserved. I'm talking about carnivores, to always be reserved. They always cover their claws. They always make sure they're not baring their fangs. This guy didn't do any of that, like not at all, and he's drooling too. So yeah, he's making no attempts to hide his hunger. I have no idea if that was just to get that type of response out of her from the get-go, or if that's just him like lacking in like, social grace. I think it might be a little bit of both, to be perfectly honest. See? Drool. But hey, she got out of it. At that time, her eyes filled with tears. Her face exuded vivid brilliance. Not what they call fear, but what they called the desire to live. That's a good ending. Oh, that's a pretty good ending. Although I'm a little annoyed. Anyway, as a chipmunk, getting the manuscript was already a blessing. Now, if he could only explain the reasoning as to why he needed that bit of writing for the manuscript, I would never forgive him if he didn't. And that looks like it's the end of the chapter. Yep, that's it. Man, this was a good chapter. A really good chapter. I liked it. I love short stories like this. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about this particular chapter in the comments. Wait a minute. I know where he's from. I said it before. He's who Yes, this panel right here. It just came back to me randomly. This is one of the people that Legacy shared his rice cakes with. He was on the rooftop. Oh wow. Yeah, this is totally him. He was one of the animals that were on the rooftops, and he even said he was a writer or something like that. That was so long ago, and he never appeared again. So, yeah. Well, I got my wish in a way that I didn't expect, but I did get my wish to see more of his neighbors. So that's cool. Who else was there? I'm gonna open up the my manga and go back to that panel. I want to see who else was there and if they appear here. But yeah, this has been Beast Complex Chapter 7. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you during Chapter 8. Bye now.